In Roy's world, there are a group of people called Seckowedians, sometimes called Seckowedian warriors. Who are the Seckowedian warriors? I'll tell you about them. The Seckowedians are an ambiguous and spiritually mixed-up group. While there are many things that unite them as a group, they are theologically diverse. Some believe in Buddhist concepts, some believe in pagan concepts, some believe in Islamic concepts, sometimes they mix and match beliefs. Some even have atheistic concepts. You will find almost every kind of theological and philosophical outlook among them, but it is their strange culture, artwork, rituals, and practices that unite them. There are even some Christian Seckowedians, though there is diverse opinion among Christians about whether or not one can truly be a Christian and at the same time a Seckowedian. Also, many Christians don't even ask the question. They simply feel that Seckowedians are Seckowedians, and that's all there is to it. You will have to decide what you think about them. Seckowedians will insist that Seckowedianism goes back to ancient times, but really it was started by some angry young kid in his basement who got many of his ideas from his own strange and peculiar behavior and also from literature he used to read about secret societies. They have strange rituals like walking over and over, back and forth, and repeating certain phrases, or going over strange poems and reciting portions of literature. They practice meditation, deep prayers, and or pondering. They have many secret codes and signals for speaking to one another, with or without words. They create underground passageways that have areas for meetings and rituals, and they have Nabu rooms. These are small rooms where they will stay and recite their daily nabus, which are long poems, verses, and codes. There is a mixture of beliefs among these people, but the Christian Seckowedians are a bit different. Once again, whether or not they are truly Christian is up to the viewer to decide. They even have circular rooms where they will walk in circles, either alone or in a group, with some going in one direction and some in the other, where they will slap each other 5 when they pass each other. They will recite their nabus as they do this. Some of them will rap as they do this, and as they pass each other, they will slap each other 5. They also have slap fight rooms, sword fighting rooms, fist fighting rooms, shooting and wrestling rooms, and they love a sport called catapacho. And this is where it gets kind of interesting. This sport consists of throwing a plastic bottle up on a roof, and the number of bumps it makes on different parts of the roof count as points, as well as the closest to the peak of the roof it comes. To play catapacho, you have to stand sort of hunched over, feet forward, and holding the bottle in the proper way. You then have to slap your thigh twice, the thigh opposite the throwing hand, before you gently and underhandedly throw up the bottle upon the roof. The more bumps it makes, the higher it goes, the more points. Some of the great catapacho players can get the bottle to almost rest on the peak before it comes down. Others hit it against the gutter before they get it on the roof. If this is done, only the mouth of the bottle must hit the gutter. There is also a pipe version of catapacho, which is more popular in the Seckowedian underworlds, which consists of the classic catapacho stand and underhand throw. The object is to get only the mouth of the bottle to hit the pipe on the way up, and if you're good enough, to get it to hit on the way down too, but not to hit the ceiling above the pipe. The Seckowedians often say that there is a spiritual and meditative meaning to catapacho, and that it has ancient roots. But really it was invented by that angry kid who started Seckowedianism. Seckowedians have written many secret books on the meaning of the catapacho stand and the underhanded throw, and every kind of bump and hit the bottle may make. These books go on to interpret each play in Carpaccio and what they say about the player. It is highly common to interpret the person's spiritual maturity by what level of Carpaccio player they are. Some books even ascribe stories and characters that represent each Carpaccio move. For example, the simple play of throwing the bottle onto the roof and getting 1 or 2 bumps will be represented by a character. In one version of the Carpaccio tales, the character's name is Little Tim. He is the persona that represents this simple move, and therefore he is a simple person. Different versions describe him differently. Some versions place him in a good light because they emphasize the possibility that the player who makes this simple move may go on to make better moves. Other versions paint the character in a bad light and may give him an uncomplimentary name because they emphasize the possibility of never advancing past the simple version of Carpaccio. There is also a Seckowedian legend about the master Carpaccioist.
Yes.
And how he perfected all the moves of Carpaccio, and how through Carpaccio many great things occurred throughout history. There are even stories that are taken seriously by the Carpaccio fanatics, claiming that the great transformational figures of history were secret Carpaccioist masters. Most of the Christian Seckowedians tend not to take any of this Carpaccio folklore stuff seriously. But among the Seckowedians in general, there are many deeply devoted Carpaccioists, and every Seckowedian plays Carpaccio regardless of whether or not they take its folklore seriously. It is not uncommon for Carpaccio to determine business deals, marriages, and other important decisions. Fights and disagreements are often settled by Carpaccio as well.
All right, man. Peace.
Seckowedians feel everyone should know Carpaccio and mock those who can't play it well. Even the Christian Seckowedians have fallen into this mindset. Some members of the Seckowedians who live in the cities and out in the open have built Nabu tunnels under their own houses. Chiron's father was a Seckowedian, and Chiron discovered this one day when, as a child, he was playing in the basement. He went by the boiler room and moved a box out of the way. He discovered loose tiles under the box and then a door under the tiles. He went down into the tunnel with the simple metal ladder built into the stone. He found a small Nabu room down there, which had many handwritten notebooks and books and strange drawings. Chiron's father found him down there and smacked him around a bit, and that beating had a very bad impact on Chiron.
Calm down. Just say what you feel. What are you doing here?
I can't take it.
All right, Chiron, all right.
Seckowedianism took my father away from me. I hate Seckowedianism. And since Seckowedianism has included every belief system and religion within it, I hate religion. And since my father was by day a Christian and Christians tried to convert me more than anyone else, and Christianity has had such an influence on our land, I especially hate Christianity.
This is very good. Very good. We're really having a breakthrough here today, Mr. Dudderfortle. You're doing excellent. We will keep the dosage of your medication as it is for now. And I must say that you're a great example of the fact that man doesn't need God as a crutch. Praise Darwin.
Praise Darwin. Praise evolution.
Hi, this is Roy Drivel. The last portion of this episode is not intended to poke fun at those that are on psychiatric medication or to demean them in any way. It is meant to show the irony of Chiron's faith in and dependency on human institutions like psychiatry, while at the same time mocking those who depend on God. It's also meant to reveal that it is illogical to place one's faith solely in humanity and in human accomplishments while being aware of humanity's inability to solve the world's many problems. Hope is illogical if humanity is all there is to have hope in, so why is hope in God so difficult to understand for Chiron? One might say that God hasn't solved our problems either, but we must hope that He can because we already know quite well that we can't. There is no basis for hope at all unless there is a God who is perfectly trustworthy and worthy of us placing our hope in. The God of the Bible simply must exist, for hope to have any logical basis.
There are cries in the land, so many saying, yes, we can be led in the wrong way, weighing their worth by lies lined up in the crowd's eyes in the middle of pride, so many proud in the land. Lowercase letter I stand undeveloped into what should be. In order to be, we must be set free, a well-chosen victim crowd for the plans that were written about. Selective victimization to bring about a nation of tyranny through pity, deceptions on TV, souls in captivity, and the great controversy they do not want to see. Jesus can set us free. Read the Bible line upon line, scripture upon scripture. Here a little and there a little, soon it is a fixture. Read the Bible line upon line, scripture upon scripture. Here a little and there a little, soon it is a fixture in your mind. Read the Bible line upon line, scripture upon scripture. Here a little and there a little, soon it is a fixture. Read the Bible line upon line, scripture upon scripture.